Oh, can we kill the stage lights and just do house lights?
Okay, so that's another 12. Like, I can't see any of you all. I can see you. Yeah.
Okay.
Well, first of all, let's give her a round of applause again. So this is kind of ironic that I get to sit here and do this because I've watched you grow so much. And even when you came here, you already had so much body of work with you that you brought to the table. And I remember you submitted to the film festival. I should introduce myself. I'm Kareem McMichael. I am the advisor of the student newspaper Tigers Roar. I'm a 09 graduate. This was my minor actually. But yes, so I'm glad and I have an honor to do this talk back with you. You all ready for a talk back?
Yeah.
All right, here we go. So first of all, for all of us here, describe your work. We just saw a very interesting piece that is somewhat biographical. So describe your work.
So my work was just a snapshot of a chapter in my life, the one where God wasn't leaving me alone, and He made it clear I can't ignore like these dreams that don't make sense, and I need to actually do something about it, and just my journey of the people around me coming to terms with it, and me coming to terms with it, since I thought that I was going to be like in the biology field. So it's just all the twists and turns in that chapter, and how during that whole time God was inspiring me and sending me choreography in my dreams.
You've always had art as a part of your life, and I know because we've talked some about your journey that, like you said, even prior to getting to this point in this chapter, you knew it was always in you. What does your art mean to you?
My art is my way to tell people who I truly am. I feel like when people meet me in person and they kind of size me up or try to get a good read on me, they usually don't, because I'm a person that has so many layers that unless you sit down and have a conversation with me, you're not really going to get a good picture. And so a lot of times people assume things about me because I'm a little goofy, a little quirky, a little just kind of like happy-go-lucky. So people assume I haven't been through anything. People assume that I'm naive. People maybe off top don't respect me because I don't give off this intimidating energy. I give off a very like open, welcoming, nice energy. And so people kind of think, oh, I can handle her, or I got her number. And so a lot of times when it's time for opportunities, I've always found myself not necessarily being considered because they either think I can't handle it or that I'm not qualified, because they couldn't get all of that in meeting me. And so
You're very, very qualified.
And so a lot of my work really is just showing my other layers. Like every time I write something or make a short film or something like that, I always get the same response, well, oh, who wrote that for you? Or it's, oh, well, I didn't know that you were funny, or I didn't know this or that. I was like, I mean, well, you just should have tried to get to know me when you met me in person. I don't know what to tell you.
With this particular piece, you did a variety of things. So describe your process as you approach this particular project. You know, most people probably just say, you know, I'm going to do this one thing and let everybody else figure out the rest for me. And you did multiple. So
yes.
Describe your process for this piece.
So I started with two things. I started with the writing and I started with the music because I'm a big lyrics person. And so when I'm riding in the car and I hear lyrics, it inspires dance movement. And then a lot of my storytelling is just, I want to be the voice for people that are like me. I feel like there's a lot of people, and I'll say women because I'm a girl's girl, that we're kind of not allowed to have those layers where it's like, you know, you're either like the ratchet girl or the stuck-up girl, or you're, you know, the girl that doesn't know her worth. Or it's like a lot of us are a lot of things at once. We can be like, you know, chill and sweet, and we can be a boss. We can like be a follower and a leader. We can be a lot of things, and so many women have so many layers. So my starting point was I want to use this work to speak for people, and especially women that have those layers, and kind of express all of those, you know, because I'm in dance practice, I'm one way, you know, I'm on a date with my guy, I may be another way, you know, if I'm, you know, overseeing a project or I'm directing, you know, I might have a different energy to me. So I was like, well, I want to write something that shows the layers of women, and I want to write something that speaks to the different types of media that I love. I love to write, I love to do choreography, and I love to creative direct. And so that's why I had the short films, and I had the script, and I had dance.
With this project, what was the concept behind the theme and the pieces? So you might have already talked about this, and you kind of just did, but elaborate a little bit more. Like, what else, what other things were you trying to communicate? You know, it was almost like a good, you know, watching a musical here unfold, but also with dance, which is sometimes difficult to interpret. So
it's interesting you bring that up because I guess another thing I wanted to showcase is I don't know what they're called. It may exist and maybe just isn't popular, but it's something that I've kind of coined dancicles. Because I like to, how a musical does acting and then it segues into a musical number that features a singer. I like to do dialogue that segues into a dance number featuring dancers and the music is the backdrop. So I wanted to give that a try, almost like the scene sets up the dance kind of thing. And then the other part was like the name, Jokes on Her with a question mark. I wrote it with the question mark because sometimes people think something's gonna go one way for you because they didn't see it for you. And so it's like, the joke's on her, but is it? Is it though? Because, I mean, look what God did. And so I feel like a lot of people have that question mark, you know? And so that's why that last scene was so important because he only heard about her because of people talking negatively about her. But it got her name in his ear. And so he looked her up and saw what the real deal was, and then she got an opportunity. So it's like you were trying to do something to make it worse for her, but you ended up making it better for her.
Mm-hmm. And let's go. As artists, you know, we perform a lot. We do a lot of rehearsals. We do a lot of practices. You spend a lot of time, hours, countless hours, perfecting what it is that you do. But what is it that you think is one of the most important tools that, you know, to have as an artist perform?
I think one of the most important tools is respecting the people that are going to showcase your art, and also I would say being able to effectively communicate your vision. I mean, because if you're trusting people with your vision, you need to know how to cast the vision. And so I think sometimes a lot of artists are in their head, or they're great with the concept but they're bad with the execution, or they're good with the creative side but bad with the business side, you know? And so you have to be able to do all of those things to make sure it actually turns into what you saw it. Because they're either going to not catch the vision or not care about the vision because you're not respecting them.
I think those are two good points to take away with that too. Like, no, seriously, you're having the creative side of the vision and the know how to execute it, but also understanding the business side of it too, because sometimes, or have someone in your corner who knows the business well, hopefully they won't.
Right. Oh yeah, that's another thing, hiring people that are smarter than you.
They will get to help you. Who, what and who have inspired you and were your influences for this piece or in general? Let's talk about, you know, maybe a combination of both.
Well, I would say one major inspiration, may he rest in peace, is one of my dance big brothers. His name is Kareem Grant. He passed away 2 years ago, and he was the first dance crew I ever joined when I lived in Jacksonville. And he was kind of anybody. Like, you didn't have to be this super impressive dancer. You just had to be willing to learn. And he was the first one that kind of gave me experience outside of phrase dancing. And then also, he got his master's in fine arts when he was in his 30s. And he was one, like me, like later in life, realized that's what he wanted to do. And so just seeing him do it, he went, he got his bachelor's, got his master's. He started the dance program at Alabama State University and worked with the Stingettes and worked with the dance program there. And he was in the middle of all that when he passed away. But just kind of seeing somebody that, you know, I don't care how old I am, this is what God wants me to be doing right now, and so I'm going to do it. Because you hear a lot of people say, oh, it doesn't matter how old you are, do it, go. You know, but to see somebody actually do it and then say, you know, I'm not just saying it, I did it. So he was one of my major inspirations. I would say my family. Ooh, let me not cry. Because, you know, when you're kind of late in life figuring out what you're called to do, your family can gotta go on a roller coaster. Your family gotta go on a roller coaster, you know, while you're figuring it out. And people want to make you think you figure it out at 18 or 20. Not everybody figures it out, man. I didn't figure it out until I was in my mid-30s. And they've just always been so supportive. Like, you know, when I come to them and say, I think this is what I'm supposed to be doing, you know, they don't give me a lot of crap about, oh, well, you have a, thank you. I'm going to try to do the Candace corners. Anybody watch Potomac? The Candace Triangle. They will just kind of question you. Well, I thought you wanted to be pre-med or pre-pharmacy. I thought you wanted to do this or that, but my mom has always encouraged me to do whatever you feel like God is calling me to do. And so that inspired me. So at least I knew that if I wanted to take this leap, that I would have my family behind me. So that's a great inspiration. Also, my mom, she does that too, and even like in her earlier years, she used to be in a band and dance, play the tambourine, like she did the arts, and so, you know, just to see people be creative in your family helps as well. So I would say they're my two big inspirations.
All right, wow, and there's actually, sometimes some people don't have that connection with their relatives. They're like, why do you want to go into the arts and stuff? What are you doing?
It's crazy. She never questioned it. And she didn't say it to me.
Okay.
And my dad he isn't here, but my dad was the same way, so yeah.
Good. Awesome. With your show, what things did you do well? What do you feel that you did well?
What did I do well? Well, gosh, I am so hard on myself. It'd probably be easy for me to say what I didn't do well, but I'm gonna try to find something I did well. I started early. They told us to start early, and I had my first rehearsal literally 3 weeks after school started. I had my idea the summer before my senior year, and I already started casting early September, and we had our table read September 17th. And so I gave myself plenty of time to figure it out, and plenty of time for the cast to be able to commit, because, you know, once you get deeper into the semester, it gets harder for people to, you know, be able to commit. So yeah, I definitely say I did that well. I started early, and I would like to say I communicated well, or at least I tried. I set got calendars, schedules, footage from rehearsals. We made phone calls. So I think I tried to communicate.
Okay. You had strong stories as well. You wrote a strong story as
well.
Oh,
thank you. I wasn't sure about that part, so I didn't want to say that one.
Well, I guess the other flip side to that point, what were some things that you feel you could have improved on?
I would say I probably could have been better at giving grace. I have such high expectations for people that I work with, because I feel like, you know, I've laid this out for you. It should be so clear. What are you talking about? But you have to allow people room to be human, and just give them grace to, even if you were right that they didn't do something at their best. It's more so just have a conversation and just keep it moving, you know. So I always say I can do better with that, because I think, you know, grace abounds. God gives us so much grace, like unlimited, and so I feel like I can always do a better job of giving grace. Other thing maybe I did not so well, I feel like maybe we should have rehearsed more. I feel like me wanting to have this cast so badly, I tried to sell them on being in the project. I was like, oh, we don't have to rehearse 1 day a week, maybe 2, so that's not too bad, so come on and do it. But I think we probably all would agree we could have used a few more rehearsals. Yeah.
When working on projects, you know, a lot of things do go well, and sometimes problems do arise. But when you did have problems doing with this piece of work or with your work, who do you talk to in this beginning aspect?
I talked to my team. I had a really great team. DC was a sounding board for me a lot. Ricardo, my dance captain, and the talent coordinator, which sent out a lot of correspondences. I reached out to my team. Also, the other thesis candidates, like that's here today, we have a senior thesis group chat, and we just go off in there. Like, it is our safe space. No, you definitely don't want to see that chat. It's just our space to vent. I mean, it's frustrating, it's stressful. We all know that, and so that's just kind of our place to just, so that's who I talk to, definitely. My fellow thesis performers, and my team. Yeah. With this,
what did you learn about this particular field and the specific medium and the theme here?
I think maybe I took for granted how many moving pieces it is, you know, especially when you want to try to do pre-recorded scenes. You have to find a filmmaker, have to edit that, mixed with dance, mixed with dialogue, props, backdrops, and even the dancers being true theater ensemble people where they didn't just dance, but they played acting roles as well. And just making sure everybody has what they need, because it's just so many moving parts. It's not just the scripts, learn the lines, and then rehearse. It's just like so much else that is involved. And yeah, that's probably it.
the other part of this, beyond in this process, what did you learn about yourself as an artist?
I learned I can do it. So long, it was just something that I kind of daydreamed about, like, oh, because I'm around, I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, and it's just rich with really super talented people, and I'm always a part of other people's shows, and they're like all slash, like, even like Mike here, we're all writers slash actors slash entrepreneurs. We have so many slashes in Jacksonville, and so, I'm always helping the people with the slashes after their name, and I was visualizing that I could be one of those people, but I usually was just one thing. I was either just a stage manager, or I was just the writer, or just the choreographer. I have never, for any project, besides my short films where maybe it's like a dance film though, but not a film with like acting and dance, but I've never created all of them at the same time. So to be a triple threat for my whole thing, to write, direct, and choreograph, and artistic direct, and style, honestly, and cast, I didn't have no casting agent or nothing like that. So to be able to do all the things, I learned that I could do it. Like, yeah.
How does your work that you've produced contribute to the academic discourse in the arts?
I think it contributes to where the arts are going. Discourse now being that being a creative, none of us really are just one thing. All of us are good at so many things, and I think in the past in the arts, you were just supposed to find one medium and one niche and just lean into that. But the artists nowadays, I could pick any creative in here, and there's more than one thing that they're good at. And that's all of us now. So I think I've contributed to the discourse in showing and representing that the artists of now, we do multiple things. We're in front of the camera and behind the camera, on the stage and backstage. We write and we sing. So artists nowadays, we're like, yeah, we're multi-talented. So I think I've contributed to that discourse.
The next question, actually, I wish we would go back to asking this question in our department when we have our senior thesis. No, because I think, fittingly, if you had one recommendation to underclassmen that will soon be in your shoes, what would that recommendation be?
I would say never let any idea just pass you. If you're just in the car and it's just like a random thought enters your head, catch on to it. Pull out your voice recorder. And you never know what you want to revisit that's going to turn into something major. So definitely don't take for granted those moments of inspiration. And don't count on yourself to remember, write it down. Write it down, record it, do something, and latch on. Because those moments of inspiration are like nuggets. You got an idea, there's somebody around you that has no inspiration or wishing they could think of an idea. But when you get one, don't be like, oh yeah, maybe that sounds good. No, write it down and then go back to it. That would be my biggest advice. And also, don't base your talent level off of those around you. Some people may love you as a person, really not interested in what you're trying to be creative with. They love you, awesome, keep up the good work. Not gonna come to the show though, but I'm so proud of you. And don't take that as, oh man, I must not be that talented if they don't even want to come. Even as an artist, you have a target audience, The people in your life, may not be your demographic, But there's somebody out there, and you just gotta find them. I'm not gonna get into social media marketing today, but but you use the right hashtags, But yeah, don't go off of the vibe of people around you, Because sometimes because people are so close to you, they see you through the lens of, well, they feel like they know you so well, you can't really surprise them because they've seen everything you have to offer, and that's kind of where they come from when they're looking at you skeptically. And so to not take it personally, but just realize you don't get it, and that's fine. No shade, you just don't get it, and just keep on moving. Even today, the only people from Jacksonville here is my family and the people in my cast. Everybody else in this room is people that I have met since I moved to Savannah. So I found my people. My people maybe weren't in Jacksonville, and maybe once I become famous, and then Jacksonville's like, oh yeah, she's from Jacksonville, and they kind of up on me real hard. But maybe your hometown or the people in your circle aren't the one that's going to propel you, and just kind of realize the lane that they fall in and like, okay, no, maybe you're the friend that I talk to about relationship stuff, but you're not the one I talk to about my ideas. So maybe I need to find the friend that I call for that, but it's not you. We can still be friends though, but we just don't talk about this. You know, but I think a lot of people talk themselves out of wanting to venture out because they're basing it on polling the people around them, and that's not always what you should do.
I think that's some very strong advice for even just beyond underclassmen to take the land. Yeah. When you're faced with making a big decision, you probably had a lot of them to make, I'm sure, not only in the course of your life, but even in this protection. But when you are faced with making a big decision, how do you decide what is the right thing to do?
I'm really the wrong person to ask that.
But I had to ask.
I mean, obviously, I'm always going to consult God. You know, and not to get to, what was it, Michaela, spooky stuff? But no, I definitely bring things to God and just wait for that confirmation. He sends it in a lot of different ways, you know. And if you are, you know, in tune to that, you know, you'll know when He's confirming something for you. Also, I strongly believe in mentorship. I believe everyone should speak to someone that's already doing what they're trying to do or want to do. So sometimes just speaking to that, whether it's like a pastor or like some type of covering or a big brother, big sister, someone in your sorority or fraternity. Sometimes it's good if you have, like, not everybody, but that one person that you know that God has put in your life for that type of thing, to speak to them about it. But if I was being really honest, my personality is take chances, get messy, make mistakes. And so sometimes I don't know if it's supposed to be it, but I'm going to go for it, and I found out on the other side. And then if it wasn't, then I'm just going to recalibrate and go back to the drawing board. I just kind of go for it a lot of times. And sometimes it doesn't pay off, but I mean, I'm okay with that.
Yeah, and sometimes in art and our work, though, those risks do pay off.
Yes.
You might not see it, but like I said, the other end of it is like, oh wow,
Yes.
like I did it and it works.
Yes.
And it worked well.
Yes. Even moving to Savannah was a risk. Like, I've only lived in Jacksonville my whole life, and I knew that I wanted to come to a HBCU, and I knew I wanted to live in Savannah, so it was a no-brainer for me to come to Savannah State. But at the age that I was when I moved up here, not having any family or friends up here, quitting my job to find a job, it was like a lot of risk factors. And so people that don't like to do calculated risk or take risk, they're like, okay, you don't know how it's going to turn out moving to this city with a bunch of strangers, you know. But it ended up being the best decision I could have ever made.
What are you doing to ensure you continue to grow and develop as an artist and performer?
Oh, well, I definitely believe in lifetime education. So I do take courses now that I am hopefully about to graduate. You'll have to let me know about that. I want to like go to industry events, you know, like workshops, seminars, master classes. I want to network. I want to see what the people that are working right now are doing. So I think that's a big thing. Also just attending other artists' events. Like, I think just supporting other artists and seeing what they're doing and rocking with them, you can learn so much from other artists, you know, their process or just their work. Like, you can take something from anything. So I feel like a lot of artists, they want everybody to come to their shows, they don't go to anybody else's shows. And it's like, no, like, you dancing somewhere, you singing somewhere, let me know. Like, I love seeing other people perform. I also enjoy not being the one on stage and just sitting in the audience and watching. So yeah.
This has been truly a pleasure.
Oh my God!
Yeah, you made it. The list is complete unless you want me to start making some more
No!
questions. But it has been truly a pleasure. Congratulations again. Thank you all. This concludes.
Pretty people don't cry.
Yeah, and I ugly cry too, so.
Please.
Questions from the audience. My apologies.
It's more of a comment. I was kind of resonating with your play because we talked about it earlier when we did the community. I was kind of not most of my life to I was under most of the time. You know, I watched this kind of out. So I thank you for this experience because it kind of makes me whole and what I'm trying to do.
Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, and you got it, so. Oh, good. No other questions.
Well,
like for you when you first came to the decision that you wanted to come to Savannah State? Because I know that there's like plenty of other options for you to like decide to go, especially since you're from Jacksonville, Florida, to like go and pursue visual art. What was that?
So we were at Performing Arts, but it's
Performing arts,
I know
sorry.
you're good. It was a little bit scary, but also it was just super exciting because I had went through a lot leading up to the point that I wanted to come here, and it was just like I had gotten downsized twice. I had a really bad back injury that was like debilitating. My transmission had went out of my car. It was just like left and right, and so I was just like, God, if you give me a moment to not just be trying to play catch up and pass survival mode, like I don't want to have to keep putting out fires in my life or somebody else has passed away. Like, you know, your dream is sitting on the shelf because you're just trying to like maintain and handle what's in front of you. And so it was more so I was happy that finally a moment life calmed down enough that I could like go back to something else other than just trying to make it through the day and rinse and repeat. And so more than being scared, I was just excited that, oh my gosh, wait, there's nothing else to handle? Oh, I can finally look into going back to school? Okay, great, let's do this. So I was just happy, really. Yes. Oh, yeah.
Ladies first. Ladies first.
Since I met you, I thought you had it all together in Thompson's class. How do you maintain such level-headedness even when you feel like you're going insane inside?
That's a really good question. I guess two things. One, self-care is super important. I'll tell you guys a secret. Wednesday night, every Wednesday night since I moved to Savannah, I take a bubble bath. And no matter how crazy the week has been, no matter if I have homework that night, and that's just kind of my moment to just sit down somewhere, enjoy with, even if I use one with Epsom salt or whatever. And so I think those moments to just make yourself sit down and check in and say, how was this week for me? How am I feeling this week? Kind of gives me a recharge, you know, because if you keep pouring out a pitcher and you're not filling anything out, now you're pouring out an empty pitcher, nothing's coming out. Nothing's coming out. So you have to fill it up. So I think that's one. And then the other one was, I always think about how much worse it can be, or in my case, how much worse it has been. So if my only issue is, you know, my homework is late, or one of my friends is ghosting me, or if that's my only issue, I could think back to like times in my life where my issues were much more major. And so I kind of switched my perspective and like, okay, well, I'm glad this is the only fire, you know, but my car cranked when I turned it on. You know, I have a roof to come home to. I have a job. Okay, I can handle anything else. So that's kind of, I guess, a perspective thing, you know. Yeah.
So first off, I want to say thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you.
Choosing me to
Jack support. Give a hand for one of the Jack support.
So what's next for Miss Tiffany?
What's next? So two things are next, because obviously I want to be a choreographer and I want to be a screenwriter. So when I graduate, I plan to take some time and finish up some of my half-baked screenplays and manuscripts, package them all up to try to make it more appealing to a literary agent, and see if they'll sign me, because I have more than one good idea, and try to get some of those things sold. Oh, Mama, I'm not gonna look at you. I'm not. I'm gonna come hug you though.
I need a hug. I was gonna raise my hand and ask, can I hug you?
Please, I can stop this for that. This is my baby. I love you. You got this. You got this.
I'm just so happy for you, and like, yo, this whole thing is super inspiring. It's like you telling the truth. Like, chase your dreams. You showing us how to do it. You know, go to sleep, write it down. You know, execute it. Like you. I don't even know. I can't even talk right now. Like, everybody that you casted, everybody that's here, it's already written. You know what I'm saying? Like, we here, and I just know you just inspiring, dog. Like, you doing what you're supposed to be doing, what God told you to do. Like, you just, I don't.
Thank you. No, that I need to hear that. I'm not old to be a mommy. I still my baby. Well, some of y'all might be. We're not have a dance theater company that creates stuff like this. I do want to go the nonprofit route with that. I wasn't sure for a while, but when I found out that like Alvin Ailey and ABT and all that they are nonprofit status, but they're still able to tour and give salaries to their dancers and stuff like that. So I want to file for nonprofit status and then try to set up a formal dance company with seasons and salaried dancers here in Savannah. So hopefully by this summer I can get the nonprofit status, and then fall of 23 I can launch an official, dance company here. Oh dear.
I like to say, Tiffany, thank you so much for having me be a part of the show. Like Lana was saying, this is very inspiring, and thank you so much.
Thank you.
Very proud of you.
Yes.
Let me tell y'all about DC. She is a person that treats your baby like it's hers. Like, even when she doesn't have to, like, she goes above and beyond, even without being asked. Like, some people, they just do what they're asked, and that's it. But DC will just go to the moon. So, thank you. I feel like we're on one of those emotional talk shows. Yes. Any other questions?
This is a comment. I'm also very, very proud of you. And I know we had a moment earlier.
Yes.
But I know a lot of the stuff that was shown in your thesis and stuff that you're saying. So it's just nice to see you get over all those obstacles and still reach your goals.
Thank you, Kiera. And you're gonna kill it too.
Okay, I didn't want to sound like everybody else, but I am very proud of you. It's like times like when I was watching this was like so incredible what I have watched. Like seeing, visualizing your life on what you had accomplished, you had achieved. God really had bigger and better things for you. And for them haters, but you really had just, looking at you interview and all of that, actually feel like I'm more of a better person. Like looking at that, and it's just encouraging me and inspiring me to be better, just like you. And it's just like, you got this, girl. Like,
Thank you.
You better be the next Tyler Perry. For real.
I don't take it for granted. Thank you for speaking life into me. I need that.
Yes.
So.
You bring life, you bring culture, and you are just with arms, and I love that about you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Oh, my lady. Oh, Alex.
I just want to say too, I'm also very proud of you. I met Tiff a little while ago, and next thing you know, she's asking me to be president of place. I'm like, wait.
Put him to work.
Wasn't ready, but just to see you, just to see that play of your life and how things happen, and just to see the direction you're headed, and you're able to kind of see it clear. So I'm just excited for what's next for you.
Thank you.
And where to, and anywhere I can help.
Oh, I'm going to take you up on that, so I hope you mean what you say.
Same here.
Look, I remember reading a first script in Thompson's class.
Oh, the screenwriting, the playwriting class. Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah.
And like I remember like reading that first script, so like helping you now and reading this script too. And this year last for the school, like it's definitely growth, and you were even amazing that you did. So I'm so excited to see where you go.
Hear that? I grew. I learned something. See? Oh my gosh! Thank you,
We
guys.
thank you for choosing Savannah State.
Thank y'all for embracing me. I love this. Oh yeah, forever. Yeah. Blue and orange, which I never thought, because I'm from Jacksonville and I'm a Knoll. So I never thought I would love these colors so much, but I do now.
Florida State?
Yes.
Oh, God.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He said we can wrap it up, man. Okay.
All right.
Thank you guys so much. I love y'all. Love you. Oh, well, let me make sure, y'all had so many reasons to not show up today, obviously, tropical storm warning, so it means just that much more to me that you wanted to come root for me in person, when you had so many reasons to not. You could have like not wanted to drive here, swim here, walk here. So, you know, I hope that God blesses you for trying to bless me.